and welcome to another episode of the all-new TTown 411 Report. I'm your host, Darren McKinstry. We're here live at McKinstry Banquet Hall. Located at 5480 Jug Factory Road here in Tuscaloosa. It's a special place for special people for all special occasions. So if you're looking for a place for the upcoming event, don't forget about McKinstry Banquet Hall, located at 5480 Jug Factory Road here in Tuscaloosa. Give us a call, 205-826-7661. We're also going to broadcast on Soundproof Radio 106.1, but our good friend Mike Wilson will not be on the program with us tonight. But I do have our other junior host on the program with us, Miss Veronica Taylor. She'll be on with us tonight also. And you can sound in on Soundbooth Radio, Soundbooth TV on the YouTube channel each and every Tuesday and Thursday right here on the TTown 411 Report and our community conversations. Don't forget about that. Also, we will always say our copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. So tonight's program is definitely going to be interesting in reporting information to our community here in the city of Tuscaloosa. We also want to make sure everyone understands the opinions expressed in this presentation are my personal opinions and must not be construed as representing the opinion of any institution which I am or have been affiliated in our personal life. Veronica, you're on with us. Veronica, tell us about the COVID update, please.
Okay, yes. Hey, Darren, hey, everybody in the chat. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Okay, DCH won't update until tomorrow on Wednesday, but I do check the New York Times, and as of today, August 9th, 2022, the latest trends show an average of 2,100 cases per day reported in Alabama in the last week. Cases have decreased by 14% from the average 2 weeks ago, and deaths have decreased by 23%. It's still showing that Tuscaloosa County has a daily average of 98 cases and 47 cases per 100,000 people.
Okay. As always, we say a special prayer for everyone that asked for a special prayer. Let me transfer this to one of our groups. Share this group room, our community conversation. As always, we'd like to say a prayer for each and every one of you out there that's on the program with us tonight. And we also pray for everyone else. So if you would just for a brief moment, join us for a quick prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day that we've never seen before. Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for your grace and mercy to give us the opportunity to come on these airways and share our information. Heavenly Father, I'm praying for our good friend Mike and Veronica and all the people that's on the program. We're asking that you continue to look over them, each and every one of their families. We're praying for the bereavement families right now. Heavenly Father, go with them and let them know that you're with them through their time of bereavement. We're praying for all our essential workers, all those that are sick. We're praying for their families. We're praying for the doctors and nurses, all the essential workers at the hospitals and the nursing homes. Heavenly Father, right now we're asking for a special prayer for all our teachers and principals, our school systems. Let them have a wonderful year and prosperous year, Heavenly Father. Go with them and protect them throughout this land, throughout our community here in Tuscaloosa. Heavenly Father, continue to look over all our firemen and our police officers, praying for our governor and our mayor, each and one of our presidents, the vice president, all the county commissioners, and our city council. Heavenly Father, we ask that you continue to look over all our pastors throughout this land. We're asking that you protect them and their families. In your Son, Jesus Christ's name, we pray. Amen. Amen. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining in with us tonight. Linda Millhouse, thank you. Tina Sanders, Daniel Van Horn, all of you all that join in with us tonight. We got a very, very interesting program tonight. We're going to be talking about the monkeypox. We got to get serious about it. It's right next door. I'm not sure if we have any true cases in Alabama yet, but in Georgia, from my understanding, it's right next door. And I'm certain that it probably will be knocking on one of our communities real soon. And we keep hearing about it. We actually trying to learn more about it, and we don't want this to take our community by storm. But it's something we need to prepare for. We wasn't prepared for COVID-19, and that was something that was was very much deadly in our community as well as anything else. But this virus or this particular plague, as you might want to call it, or whatever, is taking our country now by storm. And we're going to go over different things about the monkeypox here on the program. We're going to talk about what is monkeypox, how do it spread, the symptoms of monkeypox, treatment for monkeypox, and any other questions anyone else might have that they have on the program. We want to share about monkeypox here, because certainly it is going to hit Alabama, and certainly it's going to hit Tuscaloosa, and we just want to be prepared and let people understand what's going on rather than a scare or a panic within our community. So please be prepared. We will be talking about that. We're going to go into that right after our commercial break. And also back to school. School starts on tomorrow. The city of Tuscaloosa and the county schools are back to school, and we just want to make sure our children are prepared for back to school. And we want to be encouraging to them. We want to make sure everyone is behind the student body. We want to make sure they're encouraged to do their best, and we don't want to look down on any of our students or any of the kids. We just want to be there, and we want to thank you all for that. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back, and we're going to get to talking about monkeypox. That's our conversation tonight. We're going to be talking about the monkeypox, the cases that are very close to us here in Alabama, and we're going to give you some information that you might have heard or might not have heard about monkeypox. So we're going to be talking about that and anything else we can think of. Once again, our guest will not be on the program with us tonight, so we'll be having one phone line open. So please be patient on the phone line. We're probably going to have to set it up where if one person calls, once that person ends his conversation, then another person calls. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about monkeypox cases and what to look for. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Head on down to Archibald and Woodrow, some of the best barbecue in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, y'all. Right off of 4125 Greensboro Avenue, Tuscaloosa, Alabama 35405. You can hit them up at 205-331-4858. Also, you can find them at their other location, 1211 Martin Luther King Boulevard, Northport, Alabama 35476, 205-345-6861.
Tastes so good, make you want to slap your mama.
Hello?
Hey, Rick, I had to call you to tell you that the food that you brought to the party last night was wonderful. It made me think about my grandmother's cooking. Where did you get that food, brother?
I went down to Thomas' Rib Shack to pick up the ribs, but when I got there, I seen that they had more than just ribs. I seen baked chicken, fried chicken, corn muffins, vegetables, apple pie, peach pie. And I looked around and I seen a sign that told me that they got chitlins and oxtails on Sunday. Oh, all I can tell you, go down to 2931 15th Street or just give them a call like I did at area code 205-759-5010. Thomas Rib Shack, Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Get your event jumping with Caroline Shines and Impulse Band. Impulse Band has been together for over 7 years, and they haven't missed a beat yet. The band has and will play in various venues and doesn't mind traveling to you. being led by Alabama Blues Hall of Famer herself, Mrs. Caroline Shine. Impulse has opened up for Bobby Rush, LJ Eccles, Tank, Fantasia, Calvin Richardson, just to name a few. The Impulse Band will surely fit your need for entertainment. Dial 205-887-6859 or 205-887-5026. Or you can just email them at shinesbrightly@yahoo.com. Caroline Shines and Impulse, the band made just for you.
Okay, we're back. We're back. Want to make a few announcements right quick. Don't forget about the upcoming Alabama Regional Expansion Series featuring Mr. Sean T. Hill. This coming Saturday at 10 a.m. to 12 noon at McKinstry Banquet Hall. They will be having another seminar, and this one is taking place at McKinstry Banquet Hall at 10 a.m. If you're interested, please contact Mr. Reginald Turner at 205-207-8856. 205-207-8856. That'll get you in contact with Mr. Reginald Turner if you're interested in that particular event. Also, don't forget about the upcoming Investigator Dornell Crusette Memorial Ride. This is going to take place on August the 21st, Sunday, August the 21st, and it will take place starting from the TTown Harley-Davidson here in Tuscaloosa at 6401 Interstate Drive in Condale, Alabama. Riders are asked for $25 donations and passengers $10. Kickstands up at 11 a.m. Registration is at 10 a.m. It's a 52-mile route ride. For more information, please call my good friend at 205-292-4873. Once again, 205-292-4873. Proceeds to fund Fallen Officer Memorial at TPD headquarters. So this is a very worthy cause here for our police department here in Tuscaloosa. So if you know anyone that rides a motorcycle and like to be involved in this, please share this flyer with them. It's taking place on Sunday, August the 21st. That particular event is taking place. This coming Friday Night Live, August the 12th, it's going down at Hay Court at 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. They will have games, free food, free game, PlayStation tournament, DJ and dancing, face painting, nail painting, and more. This is being done by our very own Shelton State Community College, along with Para, 92.9 WTUG, and 105.1 The Block. We want to thank them for doing this for the whole summer, for ages 6 to 17. This coming Friday night, it will take place at the Hay Court Center in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And then on Saturday at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Palmo Park, there's a big celebration, back to school celebration on Saturday, August 13th at Palmo Park. So we want to thank all of them, especially Miss Q Chandler and Mr. Joseph Eatman, all of the people that volunteer to make that happen for our kids throughout the summer. Don't forget about the upcoming event that's going to take place in September the 10th. Miss Tina Sanders present No More Tears present Leroy Hall, your favorite motivational speaker, street poet. She will be speaking at McKinstry Hall on September the 10th. If you need tickets, please contact Miss Tina Sanders, 716-816-8264. That'll get you in contact with Miss Tina Sanders on that upcoming event. Also, before we get to that, also don't forget about the upcoming stage play on Saturday, August the 20th. My Black is Blue. This is being done by local artists and local producers, promoters, all right here, and it's going to take place at the Alberta School of Performing Arts at 2 p.m. and again at 7 p.m. So My Black is Blue stage play is taking place this coming August the 20th. That's on a Saturday, August the 20th. And there are two times, 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. And you still can get $15 tickets right now if you haven't gotten your tickets already. My good friends down in Aliceville, Alabama is recruiting police officers. If you're looking for a job in law enforcement, please contact them at 205-373-2517 or go to their website, www.cityofaliceville.com. Cityofaliceville.com. If you have information or if you have announcements you want made, please contact me. Here on the program, we will get that information out to those individuals, or we will at least display it. Remember, once again, this is a copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for the fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. On the phone with us, our very own Miss Veronica Taylor. Veronica, if you would, let's talk about this monkeypox. Let's go ahead and inform the people. Hey, if y'all got a minute, you want to share this with your family and friends, or if y'all want to give them time to chime in. I see quite a few people have chimed in with us. This is a very important show tonight. I think it's worthy of us talking about. It's something we need to talk about, and we're talking about monkeypox. If you would like to call in with questions, or if you like to get more information, I'm not an expert, but I do research, or I can answer some questions. But we have our very own nurse on the program with us, Miss Veronica Taylor. And if Veronica would, I'm gonna let you start talking about this very contagious, as well as it's contagious as COVID is also right now. Monkeypox cases. Let's talk about that, Veronica.
Okay, there. You gotta stop putting me on the spot. But we got it. Okay.
Well,
Okay.
I mean,
It's because it's not because it's new, but you want to be clear on what we say, because when you say one thing, people run with it.
yes.
And they come into the facilities and they have all this different information. And sometimes, like when it's new, as far as like the C-19 and with monkeypox, which monkeypox isn't new, it's just very rare. And so people will disseminate it. So I want to just make sure I'm up to par on it, because when we don't treat it, we don't deal with it. We don't know a lot about it. And when you're taught about it, it's just a skim about it. And I know it's because they can only tell us so much, and you truly have to deal with something. But it was mostly thought to be a Central and Western African virus that kind of lived in that area. And I will say it was discovered I did know that like the 50s, late 50s. I want to say 58, but it was amongst a colony of monkeys. So in 1970, they saw the first human case that they're aware of. And so there was a small case of it in, I think, 2019. And every case that they've seen, like of recent, they say that the person most likely had traveled internationally. So, but the thing about that is, right now, it seems to have taken off, because last week, Georgia and Florida were like 4, I think Florida was maybe 485, Georgia 450, something like that. Well, right now, Florida is 976, Georgia is 749, and the state of Alabama went from 19 to 22. So it has surfaced somewhere in Alabama. And it's gone up by 3 since last week. So people, again, something that's rare. When C-19 started, it was not respiratory, and everybody was making sure they wore gloves and was cleaning off everything that they brought around or that they touched. Well, that quickly changed, as you saw, and they were saying it was droplets, because a lot of times, I don't like to get into a lot of detail, but people don't understand that there is a difference between respiratory and droplets. Respiratory droplets. Respiratory means respiratory transmission, it will go at least 6 feet. Droplets mean you may sneeze and say it's not a hard sneeze, and it hits the counter. And if someone comes behind you, touch the counter. Like we always tell our kids, Used to be we didn't. We just opened doorknobs. But a lot of times that's where you would get your common cold. Sometimes I open the doorknob, you go into a facility or whatever, not thinking, rub your face, you rub your eyes. All you know is you touch the doorknob, but you don't know how many other people have touched that doorknob who may have had some type of cold or whatever. So as of right now, the CDC did change their language. It was saying that it was primarily respiratory. So at this point, they're saying not primarily, but if you're in a room with close contact or for the extended period of time, um, I would say any amount of time. If you're in a room in close contact, wear your mask still. They did say to wear your mask. I even saw um, a health website. It was a state health website that says if you go into your doctor's office, and they're all, a lot of these doctor's offices are on this thing about where you don't have to wear a mask now. Try to know what your C19 levels are in your area, and try to know what your monkeypox levels are, and let them know. Because sometimes doctors don't know because they're just so busy, they're working. When they get off, they don't look at stuff like that, like how many is or whatever. And I'm thinking as doctors, they should, but I do understand what they say when they say they work. A lot of times doctors are in the doctor's office from 7 o'clock, 7:30 until like 5. By the time they get home and get their kids and do whatever they're doing, they're getting ready for the next day. They may catch a little bit. So they say sometimes don't look down on your doctor. Try to help him. And then it's about his attitude. Sometimes they truly don't know. But as you know, sometimes we have these doctors who know it all. So just protect yourself because it can be passed through many, many ways. And it's really it's scary. And I know they're saying something about the LGBTQ community. And that's why I say I have to do more research because I'm not completely clear on why. But people will take that and that will stick in their heads. And some people will think, well, that's not them. It's just like with anything, it may not be that person, but it depends. You don't know what people do when you have contact with.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of times people are quick to draw, oh, I don't do that. But you have to be aware of who you're around and you don't know what they do. And you don't want to invade someone's privacy by asking. And you might not like the answer you get anyway, they're probably not going to answer you. So just protect yourself. Because monkeypox passes through close skin to skin, close personal contact. It usually takes about 5 to 21 days after a person comes into contact with it to develop the rash, the fever, or the blisters. Some people develop the rash first, some people don't. Some people develop fever first, some people develop, usually it's a rash, and they said that it can be close to the genital area. But I will say check any rash that comes anywhere on the body.
Let me intervene right quick before you go a little bit.
Rash.
Let me intervene, Veronica, and kind of explain the definition of monkeypox, and then I'm gonna start showing some of the blisters and pictures that I do have of what it looks like, for people won't be alarmed. According to the definition, monkeypox is a rare disease that is caused by infection with the monkeypox virus. Monkeypox virus belongs to the orthopox virus genus, which includes the varroa, which is smallpox, as well as the Yersinia virus, which is used in the smallpox vaccination. So, like you said, kind of origin from Africa through animals, rodents, from my understanding, and now it's transported. And the cases were in Alabama. That the cases spread to the United States back in the 1950s and from now on. Now the pictures you're about to see, they are a little graphic of some of the people that might have monkeypox and give you an idea of what it looks like. So I'm warning people now prior to me showing it. These are photos that were taken from off the internet that you might see of individuals, but we want to make sure people understand what monkeypox looks like. Back in the day, we used to have what we call chicken pox, smallpox, and they gave us vaccination. The looks of this is similar to chicken pox, but looks a little bit far worse to me.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I want to make sure people understand what it looks like. So some of these things
And I think the
are
pictures
great.
can vary. Because I think a lot of the pictures that are out now that are frightening some people are maybe serious cases, and
Mm-hmm.
they may not be serious. It just may be the way it affected their skin.
Right, right.
But doesn't mean it made them feel as bad or less as the next person. But there are some it just looks like a pimple, it just looks like a bump, and then you go on to it looks like a blister, and it goes on to look like probably what you're about to show.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna start with some of the blisters, photos that people can see what monkeypox looks like. Here is something on a individual's finger. Those that are watching, and also here's a young man. It might. I'm not sure if it's considered a severe case or just how it affected that particular individual pertaining to smallpox. Monkeypox right here. It's very
And see
simple.
that.
You see that
So
one,
and
Veronica?
that, yeah, and that that's what I was talking about last week when Jesse said maybe it's something people see. They
Mm-hmm.
may take vaccines, and there was someone that said, "Oh, they're not taking that C-19, but they would take um, the virus for monkeypox." And I think a part of it is also because the vaccine that they use for it has been around. It's the same right now. They don't have one that's concrete to it, but it's so similar to smallpox that is the vaccine that they're using. So they're suggesting anybody with a weakened immune system, or if it's available to you, to take it. And it's actually the smallpox virus vaccine.
Like I said, these are just photos I gathered off the internet showing you what monkeypox could look like if you're seeing people or individuals or breakouts of this nature on family or friends. And this is a contagious disease. Is that correct, Veronica?
It is very, very. Some of the ways it's like, we talk about direct contact as far as touching objects and things
Mm-hmm.
like this. It could be bed sheets. That's why I say, you know what, I'm not going out of town because sometimes you go to these hotels and you pull the sheets back and you see a string of hair, so you know that somebody even it could have been when the person was getting it out of the laundry. Won't say that they didn't clean it, but you just never know
You never
because it
know.
can be transmitted by touching objects like fabrics, clothing, bedding, towels, surfaces that have been touched by someone who had it,
Let me.
contact secretions from sneezing, coughing. And so that's the thing about the respiratory. There's not saying that it's respiratory primarily, but they're saying if you're in close proximity. And so I'll just say wear your mask
For
because it's a very rare virus. And so even though it was discovered in '58 in this state, it's saw it like in '70. If it's something that's rare, they don't have much knowledge about it, and I guess they have to go to the area that did have the. I guess African areas they are more used to dealing with it, so they're probably scientists and things like that have probably already. I'm sure they're on it with them because that those areas they say it's it's more, there are more numbers, and they've been dealing with it for a longer time. And even though they say that it was first discovered in a colony of monkeys, they can't just say that it's because of monkeys.
right.
So, it can pass through your pet. If your pet scratches you, bites you, it can pass. There's different, getting a massage, kissing, prolonged face-to-face contact, touching fabrics and objects during sex that were used by a person with monkeypox that has not been disinfected. Um, it's oral contact, anal contact, vaginal contact, touching the genitals of a person with it. So a pregnant woman, it says it can transmit to the fetus through the placenta. So
Let
it's
me
very,
add.
very contagious.
Let me add.
And I don't know, but the young lady said that she may have dealt with money. I don't know why they think that may be why, but maybe I'm thinking that. I don't know if that was in Georgia, but
That was in
I've heard
Georgia. I
that
was.
situation.
I
Was that in
was.
Georgia?
Yeah, that was in Georgia, and I was fixing to comment on that earlier this morning. They interviewed this young lady out of Georgia, who advised. Of course, she says she's not sexually involved or something of that nature. But she said the only thing she does was work at a convenience store, and she caught monkeypox when she went to go get treated, well, diagnosed what was going on. They found out that it was monkeypox, and she says she can remember. Only thing she can remember is touching money, and she has a habit, like some of us, of just touching her particular spots in her face, and those where the bumps were, looked like it was kind of traced along the fact the way she touches her face all the time. And so that was a young lady. I might have an opportunity to play that later on, but yes, they're saying it was transmitted possibly through touching the money. So that's some of the case scenarios.
Wow. And ladies, I don't know. I thought they had ladies that stopped doing this, but stop putting money in your bra.
In the bra area, that's correct.
Yeah, stop doing it. It's just like when I see them put cell phones there. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
And I see where you posted, Veronica, there's 22 cases in Alabama already. So
It is. And that was updated today.
So for those of you who don't realize that monkeypox is a very contagious disease, it is. Take all the necessary precautionary needs for washing your hands consistently, using the hand sanitizers. Continue to wear your mask. These are things that we all must do. We talked about how it's spreading. Of course, we've heard about the Veronica spoke about the fact the male-to-male contact, but it's more than just the LGBTQ plus community. It's passing on to several different people. So this is not just a gay thing.
The transmission is so easy, and I really don't know why I don't know. Maybe they put it out there because statistically that's what they had seen. But when you put certain things out, that's why I was saying earlier, I like to try to prepare how I'm gonna say it, because when you put certain things out, people run with it. And sometimes they'll get misinformation and they'll come and argue correct information down. They will argue you down about correct information. And I mean that, not to say that it's incorrect information, because it's not. They did the numbers, they checked what they checked, and that's what they're seeing. But a lot of times people take what most offends them or what sounds most awing, like, oh, what? They take that and they run with it, and they forget the other things, like the bed towels, the bed sheets. Continuing to wear your mask, about what you touch. Don't touch these. Try and keep your hands out of your face. And some people say they wear gloves because that is a reminder to keep their hands out of their face. And that's the truth. Because a lot of times if you're working and you touch something and you haven't sanitized, you haven't washed your hands, you get an itch to the cheek. I'm not even talking about something hits you in the eye, you rub your eye. Right. So if wearing gloves helps you to remember to keep your hands out of your face, do so.
Yes, please.
If you're out and about, do that.
Let's talk about the symptoms right quick. I got a list of symptoms, and you can kind of correct me if I'm wrong. The first symptoms of monkeypox include a high temperature, a headache, muscle aches, back swollen glands, chills, shivering, exhaustion, and joint pain. Anything else you can think of that might be a early symptom of monkeypox?
A rash anywhere on the body. But I saw some things. CDC has so much information that sometimes it upstate date. But especially near the genital area, not so much as on the genital, but maybe near, anywhere on your body. Because as we saw with the pictures, it could be anywhere.
Yes, I see arms, I see backs, I see
legs,
fingers, legs. So even in the chest and stomach area. So it's not limited just to your face. You can break out all over your body. Along with that, we talked about the symptoms. We know it's contagious. We see how it's spreading. Treatment. Tell us about the treatment once again, and some people might want to know how long do it last. I think on television they said people are being isolated 2 to 4 weeks now.
Yes, it can last up to 2 to 4 weeks, which you have to always say that each person is different. Um, they say that you most likely aren't contagious once the blisters have healed, scabbed over, and the scabs are falling off. So I'm really I'm wondering what are people doing about work, because the onset post contact, say a person comes in contact one day, it could take 5 to 21 days for it to show.
Right.
So of course they don't know at that point. But once the onset is there, it's like 2 to 4 weeks, depending on the individual.
Well, I guess that's a good question. Also, if it's so contagious, I'm pretty sure the school systems are looking into possibilities of shutdowns or quarantine statuses, especially when something of this magnitude, going back with the people in concerts and people coming back to the university from different locations throughout this whole country and world, and they're coming back to the University of Alabama and whatever other school they're going to.
Mm-hmm.
This is something to consider also when we go to football games and the greeting, and I think Veronica, you say is just, this is something we just can't get away from, that we need to get away from, and that's the handshakes, the hugs, the the cheek kiss or whatever it is. We just got to get away from it. We got to get away from it, because now you can't never tell who's contagious. I mean, who has the virus, who has COVID, who has the monkeypox right now. I think a common way of greeting now, even stopping the fist bump or the elbow bump, to the point is just saying, "How you doing, sir or ma'am?" Whoever you're speaking to. No, no disrespect. Hey, let's be safe and sorry. Let's be safe and sorry.
And I think the Asian community has gotten it right from the beginning of time. Just a nod.
Yes.
Just an acknowledgement. Just a nod. Especially with so much going on. Excuse me, y'all, just a nod. Because it's so much that they're still not sure about. And we were talking about that. One thing, they're still researching if it's actually passed through bodily fluids, as far as like urine, feces, semen, vaginal fluids. Now, the skin-to-skin contact, of course, that happens when you're having relations. But is it actually passed through those bodily fluids is what they're still researching. And if it can pass through the placenta, then I say just protect yourself. Because if it can pass through a mother's placenta to her fetus, then pretty much, and if you got it, what it takes to have intimate skin-to-skin contact with relations. So just think of it as just being safe. No doing anything. And and it doesn't mean someone's been unfaithful, but if a person gets it, it's very transmissible.
Yes.
So, you can't just pinpoint and say, well, they got it this way. Just like the young lady with the money. What she's saying is plausible. It's possible that somebody had something with that money, wrong with the money, but maybe she touched an object in the store. Who knows?
You can't never tell.
Maybe it was something that they touched in the store, unless they've gotten it down, unless they've tracked it down to know that it was money. Because imagine dealing with money. That money is in the register today. It's out of there tonight.
Mm-hmm. And then it went to the bank, and then it went back to the next person that came to the bank that had that particular money. So this is a highly transmittable disease. Just think, you go to the store, gentleman or person just passed a $20 bill to the clerk. The clerk takes it back. Somebody brings in a $50. She gives that $20 along with the other money to some change to another customer. That customer goes to another location, go to a bar, pass it along. It just
because that's the one thing I have not found is how long on the objects it's contagious.
Right, and no one has said.
That's the one thing I'm like, okay, how long?
So, do you think we're at the point now where we have to disinfect money?
And how do you do that?
I mean, just brand the
once you get it, how do you do it? I think what I would advise people to do is to use their cards as much as possible
Much as possible. I agree with that. I agree with that.
because it only takes a Clorox wipe in the card out to clean to wipe the card, or alcohol to wipe the card.
So, Veronica, I'm gonna bring up another photo. So, what you're saying at the point of 2 to 4 weeks of being or getting to the point of being uh, well enough, you're saying these blisters are gonna fall off.
Well, you see how this young man, some of them are opening,
Mm-hmm.
so they're still open. They say to, bless his heart, I feel so bad for him, it's all around his eye.
Mm-hmm.
But they say to, once they have opened, of course, if they're weak, open, if they're closed, if they're open and weeping, if they're closed and scabs are on them, once the scab falls off, is when they're considering them to be non-contagious.
That's
Kind of
good.
like with the chicken pox.
Uh-huh.
Some people are trying to compare it. They're different. They're both viruses, but they're in different families. Monkeypox is more related to smallpox than chickenpox. See, that's why I start getting to people start saying, "Oh, it's like this, it's like this." No, they're two different viruses.
That's correct.
It's
That's
close
correct.
to smallpox, and if it's closely related to one over the other, it would be smallpox. That's why they're offering the smallpox vaccination and not the chickenpox vaccination.
So,
And it was low. I don't know what the numbers are. I've been checking. I know they still want it. They need more vaccines.
right, and that's the thing that's also being mentioned. There's a shortage or possibly a shortage of the vaccine, but they're trying to make it last or spread it out as much as possible. But as you were saying, there are higher number cases in California now. Florida and Georgia are both catching up with the numbers also. What I think the last count was over 7,500 cases in the United States now. So
The total amount of cases. I think if I wanted, I'm thinking somebody was put into an emergency, like they had a state of emergency with it.
right,
Um,
right.
It's over 9,000 cases. 9,000 as of today. It says 9,492.
So it's spreading. It's spreading like wildfire almost. And as you said, um, there's a 2 to 4 week. I think right now what our employment, our school system have to take in consideration of how we're gonna deal with the quarantine and the school system. Of course, there's the work from home attitude, which is good, and I think we also at the point of working from for the students can work from home with the laptops. But I know everyone wants everyone back in school the first day, which is tomorrow. We want everyone to please to try to make the school the first day of school. But precautionary measures or plans are being made as of right now. Right here, right now, plans need to be in place to say if there's a serious outbreak of monkeypox in a city or town, there needs to be some kind of already EMA process thought, and I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
they need to jump on it real quick. I know a lot of people are quick to say, well, we want the kids in school. We of course we want the kids in school. After everything some of these kids have gone through, there's never been such an upset in school, the workings of school, since 2019. I'll say 2020 in the United States. There's never been such an upset in the regular day-to-day, regimen of school. And kids fall behind some kids fall behind anyway. Some kids need extra attention, extra help anyway. And those who are on top of it will tend to fall behind if you're not getting the regular, coursework that you're supposed to be getting. You're not doing the regular studying. They've had their break. They have the summer break. So yes, we are eager for kids to get back into school. I just would like for the officials to know to not take it lightly. At the first sign, even though all what I just said was important as far as school, at the first sign, if you have to close school for a couple of days, do so, because or a day or two, do so. Disinfect everything. And, kids are going to still come back and they can have contact with their family and friends because, you can see people in the street. It seems like some of them don't even think about C-19. So some of them don't think about. And then you have those people who have the attitude, well, most people are going to get it. So, maybe this will be different because you can see so many pictures are there.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want them to not so much think about federal resources so much or money. Because I'm just going to say, at the end of the day, most people, everything from school to a private business, their first thing is money.
Yes.
Because with something like this, the federal government knows what's going on. So if it gets to the point where they need to assist, I would think that they would. Don't focus on money. Focus on the children, the staff, teachers, faculty, staff, and well-being. Because you can tamper something most times when it's just one or two. But to continue to go on, and then, it just, you just have to take precaution and not focus on so much of the keeping in school because we get the federal funds.
So let's talk about the treatment right quick. Is there anything for, we when we catch the smallpox or chicken pox or is cameline lotion gonna do anything for this?
Because it's so rare, I don't know if that would, I guess, have to come from the doctor because nobody knows right now. But it does say, and the CDC says it's a virus. So treatment, there's really no specific treatment. There are antivirals. Of course, the person will have hopefully access to antivirals medication. And since the smallpox virus is so closely related genetically, whatever antiviral drugs they use to treat smallpox or vaccines for smallpox is what the treatment regimen is going to be. So since it is a virus, I would say continue to get plenty of fluids. I haven't seen that it's not good to take aspirin or Tylenol. I would say take whatever anti-fever medication you would take. Fluids, vitamin C. I suggest people, I don't know, one time all the vitamins were off the shelves. I've got plenty of vitamin C because, it was suggested vitamin D and everything was C-19. So I would suggest take you a good rich multivitamin. That has a lot of vitamin C in it. That has pretty much a lot of most of the vitamins and nutrients that we need, vitamins and minerals that we need. For the B vitamins, I would suggest taking yourself a good multivitamin, getting plenty of rest, getting plenty of fluids, getting plenty of sleep. And when I say rest, some people equate that to sleep. Sometimes you don't have to sleep, but just get you some rest. Try to eat as well and as properly as you can. They're saying, you should always be, and they've been one way from this to 3 meals a day. Try to get 3 to 5 small meals a day. If you're a person that just don't eat a lot, try to get at least three small meals a day. Include a couple of snacks. If you eat your appetite's pretty hard, try to get you 4 or 5 small meals a day. Hydrate. Take your anti-emetics or not, if needed, if you have any nausea and vomiting that you're noting before you can get to the doctor. I would think anything that's sold over the counter to fight regular viral symptoms would be okay.
Well, let's take a few calls. I had a couple of people trying to get in. I was wanting to wait before we got in about the phone calls. Remember, we only have one line open tonight. And if you call, ask a question, make a comment, and then hang up, and we can let other people get a chance to call in and make comments or questions also, because when I click over, that means people can't hear you, or they can't hear what your statement is. So that's why we always had the 2-party line where Mike could take a call and it wouldn't interfere with what we have going already. So those that would like to make a join the conversation. 205-826-7661. That's the only number for tonight. And we want to say we miss our good friend Mike. I'm not sure what's going on. I think he's okay. But, sometimes we need a break or just tired. And now let me say this. Let me apologize for last week because I have no idea how the show ended last week. I'm gonna just say this. I did what Lisa Young did, I believe, on y'all last week.
She called it on me.
So I just want to go ahead and say I apologize, but I was tired from cutting grass and other things. So if you want to make a phone call, you can join us right now on the phone line at 205-826-7661. Anyone has conversation or comments or questions pertaining to monkeypox, you can join us right now on the program. 205-826-7661 that'll get you in contact with us here on the program.
And there, I'm looking at this more and more. I would think that like oatmeal baths and stuff like that, you know, those oat lotions.
Uh-huh.
You don't want the ones too oily, but the kinds that's like for oat or poison ivy treatment. If people, I think that would bring people relief. You know, I'm thinking about those because I'm looking at those pictures. You know, I think things like I said, the way you treat any other virus, but is in like bathing in oatmeal lotion and things like that.
Are you are you reading anything that's saying it's painful or is it just itchy?
Oh, they say it's painful. I mean, I haven't seen much say that in any literature, but the people that have talked about it say that it's painful. You know, I don't know what stages. Maybe once it's past a certain stage, it may not be as painful because we see those kids and then and most people by the time they get those symptoms, they're medicated. So I'm thinking if they're not medicated, that may be one of the symptoms that sends them to the hospital, that sends them to their doctor's office.
Well, one thing I want to bring out about this, how is it going to affect our elderly? You know how COVID was immediately attacking our elderly. And so I want to make sure there's some kind of rules or something in place from our nursing homes that monkeypox won't invade our nursing home as quickly as the COVID-19 did. So I hope there's something in the making or there's some kind of rules being put in place already right now.
I hope so. And there are two different types of monkeypox, and they say that the one that's spreading in the United States is the less severe type. It's like when we talk about Central and Western Africa. So the one from West Africa is a little bit less severe than the other. So that's the one, I guess, that's been isolated that they've seen so far.
Once again, if you have questions, comment, you can call in now. 205-826-7661. 205-826-7661. That'll get you in contact with us here on the program. We're talking about preparing yourself for monkeypox because certainly it's invaded our surrounding states, and there are 22 cases right now in the state of Alabama. And certainly it will hit eventually in our city or town near you. So let's be more open-hearted about these viruses. Let's be more precautious. And that's why I want to bring this conversation up tonight, because I think it's something we don't want to overlook, the fact that, I'm excited about going to the Blues or to the new club or to the football games, and we have an outbreak that is very, very contagious, such as this. And something of this magnitude, certainly the way they say it is contagious, can spread quickly throughout our communities. There's not, it's contagious to men, women, black, white, but there has been some kind of Latinos, I think they say blacks and Latinos, as of right now, is about 50% of the cases. I did read something on that.
Wow.
I want to say hello to my good friend, Miss Linda Owens.
Try to be as careful as possible. Wow.
Now my phone was buzzed off the hook a moment ago. And right now, no one's called in when it's free and it's open. You know, when we was talking about it. Even if you have comments relating to what we've already said, if you have more information, please feel free to call in 205-826-7661. That'll get you in contact with us here. We want to hear your comments, even if you got something relating to school. I think there's something about the schools having a dress code adjustment, but I didn't get a chance to find out more information on that. Well, Veronica, what we'll do, we'll take a quick break and we'll come back and we'll talk more about monkeypox.
Okay.
Head on down to Archibald and Woodrow, some of the best barbecue in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, y'all. Right off of 4125 Greensboro Avenue, Tuscaloosa, Alabama 35405. You can hit them up at 205-331-4858. Also, you can find them at their other location, 1211 Martin Luther King Boulevard, Northport, Alabama 35476. 205-345-6861.
Tastes so good, make you want to slap your mama.
Hello?
Hey, Rick, I had to call you to tell you that the food that you brought to the party last night was wonderful. It made me think about my grandmother's cooking. Where did you get that food, brother?
I went down to Thomas' Rib Shack to pick up the ribs, but when I got there, I seen that they had more than just ribs. I seen baked chicken, fried chicken, corn muffins, vegetables, apple pie, peach pie, and I looked around and I seen a sign that told me that they got chitlins and oxtails on Sunday. Oh, all I can tell you, go down to 2931 15th Street or just give them a call like I did at area code 205-759-5010. Thomas Rib Shack, Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Get your event jumping with Caroline Shines and Impulse Band. Impulse Band has been together for over 7 years, and they haven't missed a beat yet. The band has and will play in various venues and doesn't mind traveling to you. Being led by Alabama Blues Hall of Famer herself, Mrs. Caroline Shine. Impulse has opened up for Bobby Rush, L.J. Eccles, Tank, Fantasia, Calvin Richardson, just to name a few. The Impulse Band will surely fit your need for entertainment. Dial 205-887-6859 or 205-887-5026. Or you can just email them at shinesbrightly@yahoo.com. Caroline Shines and Impulse, the band made just for you.
Once again, we're back. We're back here at McKinstry Banquet Hall, located at 5480 Jug Factory Road here in Tuscaloosa. We just want to make sure everyone is checking in with us here on the program. Tonight we're talking about the monkeypox virus that's going on. Have on the program with us Miss Veronica Taylor, our very own 411 nurse, who's on the program with us each and every week on the program. And we'll see. I got an attachment. Let's see what this asking or saying. Okay. Got a grand opening coming up. Grand opening. We're going to talk about that, and we will have her on the program real soon. We've had her on our guest as before Miss Knox, so we will have that statement and put out on our next show on Thursday. We will put that out. But once again, if you have questions or concerns about monkeypox, you can call in. We're not experts on this. We're only sharing the information that we gathered relating to this outbreak of monkeypox cases. What we're trying to make sure we emphasize that, hey, certainly, surely, this virus is going to reach our state at numbers comparable to Florida and Georgia, and we want to prepare our community for this outbreak, this virus, and we don't want it to be scare such as COVID did. So, yes, there is a vaccination that you can take for it, but we're also seeing that there's a 2 to 4 week recovery period. Now, Rug, I'm not a healthcare expert, and I don't know a lot of HR questions, but how are they? Well, I guess some of the answer some of my questions. If you're out 4 weeks, for this particular virus, we're going to talk about monkeypox. Is it that if you don't have adequate amount of time on your job, is it that you're just away from your job without pay and you have to file for unemployment? Is that what something you think people have to do in this case?
That's what I'm wondering. I would hope that there's a way, or that would be, to me, that's plausible. I would hope that employers will understand, the severity of it, and the fact that you want your people to go ahead and be off so they can go ahead and come back. So, and this, don't give them a hard time, because some people will tend to try to work in spite of, and they'll, not saying that they don't care about transmitting, but some people will just truly have it in them that I've got to go to work. They'll say that they're just going to stay away. They're not going to do, the things that they see that could cause transmission, and they may not say anything. So I hope employees are open to allow them to be off. Maybe, I don't know if they're offered, if that particular job they're able or qualified to take the FMLA at that time. But, I would think the unemployment would be sufficient. I would think that would be too much to ask. Because right now, they're saying that it's not C-19, and months ago it was just one case or so that they had seen. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, because of the history, like there were cases in Texas in 2003 where it came over where rodents were infected, and they got to the prairie dogs, and then a few humans got infected. They were able to quell that situation. There was another case, I think in 2013, 14, it was somewhere around there, where one person, they had it and they were able to contain the situation. Then that person, I think, had traveled, and so they were able to isolate that person, and it wasn't much else heard about it. So, it's with the rate, with the way it's so contagious, I don't think employers would say, okay, not fight the unemployment. The state will be fine with them receiving unemployment under those conditions.
Well, I have a couple questions.
I will hope. I don't. That I'm really eager to see. Like I said earlier, I'm eager to see. Hopefully it won't get to that point. Hopefully these numbers will go down. God forbid it gets to the point where people need to be off. I hope they're not afraid to be off, and I hope that there's something put in place to say, okay, they can get unemployment for 4 weeks. Mm-hmm. Because it says it's, you shouldn't be. It's not considered non-contagious until the scabs actually fall off. Some sites have said until the scabs fall off and there's new skin. But usually when scabs fall off, there's fresh new skin. So most people tend to go with that. So it's going to vary person to person. So it looks like I would hope that they will allow them to receive unemployment.
I see Linda Owens advised about the new dress code. Linda, if you will call in and help me out with it, because I hadn't had a chance to look it up and share it, because some of the families hadn't understood about the new dress code. She said, it's on WBRC Kevin Reynolds' page. Mm-hmm.
Oh, about the dress code?
Mm-hmm.
So have they gone back to uniforms, or is it just certain colors?
I'm not sure. Like I said, I heard bits and pieces on the news broadcast about Tuskegee City Schools having. Here's the call. Hold on. Well, they hung up. I didn't get a chance. Call back, please. Whoever. Call back. In the photos that you're seeing now of the monkeypox is just these are photos on the internet of a young man, and these are some of the photos of what it appears to look like at times. Different Veronica advised earlier. Different people will have different responses. Hold
The
on.
appearance may look different.
Hold on. Here we go. Okay, caller, go ahead. Thank you for calling in.
Yes, this is Linda Owens.
Hey, Linda.
Hey, Linda.
Hey, that new dress code, they had it on the news this morning, and then I pulled it up, and I pulled it up on the WBRC with Kevin Reynolds,
Mm-hmm.
and it had a list of everything what the students must wear. They said that the fabric must be opaque fabric, must cover their midriff, not be low cut in the front or back. The bottom, the pants, they can wear bottoms, pants, sweatpants, joggers, shorts, skirts, dress, leggings, but they must be opaque fabric. Dresses and skirts must be fingertip length from the knee. Shorts included. Athletic shorts are allowed, but may not be less than a 3-inch inseam. Your genitals and buttocks must be covered at all times.
Mm.
And then the shoes, they said activity-specific shoes are permitted. Shoes that are secure to the foot, no flip-flops, and does not easily fall off, are highly encouraged for safety reasons. Now, it says students may wear hoodies, sweatshirts, although the hoods cannot be worn over the head. They have to have them, like, you know how they hang on the back?
Mm-hmm.
Fitted pants, including leggings, yoga pants, and skinny jeans, are allowed as long as it meets the requirements in Section 1, what they must wear with opaque fabric. Ripped jeans, as long as underwear is not exposed, and rips are not above fingertip length. My goodness. Tank tops, as long as the underwear or the midriff is not exposed. Athletic attire, as long as it meets the requirements in Section 1 and 3. Clothing with commercial or athletic logos, provided they do not have violent sections below. It says the students may not wear garments that reflect violent language or images of language depicting drugs or alcohol or any illegal items or activities, or the use of the same. They cannot have anything on them with the hate speech, profanity, or pornography. Images or language that create a hostile or intimidating environment based on any protected class. Clothing where underwear is exposed, undershirts, camisoles cannot be worn alone as a shirt. You got to cover it up. Clothing where underwear is exposed, undershirts, camisoles cannot be worn. Again, they emphasize that for some reason. Spaghetti straps, or strapless tops unless otherwise covered. Now you can wear the little tanks, but you gotta have a blouse over it or a shirt over it. And you know those white beater shirts, you can't wear them. Those t-shirts, white beaters, I guess that's what they call them.
That's what they call them. Uh-huh.
Bathing suits, hat, or head covering, except as a religious observance or as allowed on a special day. Now, if they're having something for school and they allow you to wear stuff like that, you can. Pajamas, except when allowed on a special day. You can't wear your pajama bottoms to school unless it's pajama day.
Mm-hmm.
House slippers or shoes intended for indoors only. Sunglasses indoors. You can't wear those either. Metal spikes on your shoes or metal toe shoes except for when needed for a class, such as at TCTA. The new school year begins August 10th. And that's all the requirements, the do's and the don'ts. And it was posted on WBRC, and Kevin Reynolds was on Facebook. You'll find it under there. I Googled it. Dress code changes for Tuscaloosa City Schools in fall 2022.
Well, we appreciate you sharing that information with us because I did see there was some dress code. I want to applaud the Tuscaloosa City Schools on today.
Yeah, I didn't see anything for the county yet.
Good luck. That's all I'm going to say about that. Good luck. That's all I'm going to say about
Some
that.
of those things those kids had on, wow.
That's all I'm going to say about that. Good luck.
They said, now I used to do alterations in my shop now, and I had the contract with the ambassadors for the UA back when I had my shop, and they would tell me that those little red burgundy skirts, those skirts with them jacket blazers, they could be, I had to make them credit card length from the knee. Some of them wanted shorter, but they weren't having them, so they would give me this little card, and I had to measure from their knee to that to make that skirt that length. That's, the ones that wear the little blazers and the skirts.
Right.
The ambassadors. Well, I used to do all of those, and then Rush Week, they allowed me to make the little dresses as short as those girls wanted. But for those uniforms and stuff, I had to make them credit card length from the knee. So I'm assuming that the school going to that. Didn't they say something about the knee length? So yeah.
Yeah, sound like that's what you said, something in
That's what
relation
they
to
said.
it.
That's what I was reading. I said, oh, that brought back a memory to when I had that contract with them. We had to make them that credit card list. They won't be sitting up in school with the little shorties on now. Or the tank tops and, oh my God. I guess they're going to buy them belts too.
That's the one thing I'm curious to see how that happens.
I am going to see how that's going to happen with those pants.
It is hard to get some of the youngins to pull up their pants.
But they said they're going to enforce it.
You have parents who, they're not going to even want to do it either.
They're going to send them home. It was on the news this morning as I was getting dressed for work. And I said, I'm going to pin that in my tablet. So that's how I was quick to pull it up because I pinned it. And I was like, well, my God, they got the do's and the don'ts.
Right.
So I guess they're going to put them on a lot of that stuff. But I want to see something with the county goes.
Well, good luck on that part. I really gonna say that, but we appreciate you sharing it. But also, the city schools did a motivational moment for the faculty and staff today. I thought that was rather different. That was something to empower them, encourage them to get hyped about it, and I think that was a good thing. I really did.
And they were cute too in those t-shirts. Those polo shirts.
Yes, they was at the.
They were uniforms.
At the Bryan Conference Center. They was at the.
Where was that at?
They was at the stadium, the basketball stadium on campus.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so that was a wonderful
cool
thing. Yes, they said all 15.
They look nice. All of them had on the same polo shirts.
Yes.
With the logos on it.
15,000 employees. And I just want to say we thank each and every one of the employees that take care of our future leaders, our kids, our children, our grandchildren, and we applaud everyone from the maintenance department, the bus department, definitely the cafeteria department, and all the schools, principals and teachers, and secretaries, every person that plays a role in the upbringing of our children. We just want to thank you all for all you do, and we really appreciate you, because until you've seen or been a part of the school system and see how these individuals, regardless of what role they play, I've seen where the custodian played a big role in a child that was having behavior issues. I've seen where certain male teachers could calm a female student or break up a situation. So each and every one of the personnel, the staff that's in the school system plays a role, and they're very important of the future of our children. So we want to thank each and every one of them, and we pray that they have a wonderful, wonderful school year 22-23. We want to thank school board members too.
Yes.
City school council, Tuscaloosa City school board members has been working very hard to make sure our children are safe, along with Dr. Daria and all the people that's in the central office. So I'm going to grade our school system. Right now, they're at a high B plus for me. There's always room for room for improvement, but right now, I give them a very high B plus, and that's a 90. I'm gonna just say that's a 90. Even though people say that's an A, I find a B plus and an A minus around the same thing, but I'm gonna give them a high B plus, and there's always room for improvement, and they always admit there's room for improvement.
Yeah. So how many nurses did they say? But about the nurses they were gonna put in each school?
Well, I don't know. I know when Mr. Lucas came on last week, he said that each school, it was a political answer to me, because it didn't specifically say that each school had a nurse, because like I stated last week, I feel like each school should have a nurse from opening to closing. But sometimes they'll say each school has a nurse, but one nurse will be at a school for a couple of hours and they'll go to another school for a couple of hours. And so to them, that's covered.
Correct.
And that's not really truly covered.
And what you're saying, he did say, just like any other thing, they are, in the process of trying to hire people to do that job. So that was one of the things also that was mentioned. We'll probably get more of the school board personnel to come on after the school got generated and things are going. Don't forget about those free lunch forms.
That's great too.
If you hadn't gotten them,
a lot of them fill it out. You never know. You might not have to pay for lunch this year. Fill it out.
That's correct. That's absolutely
Don't be too proud to fill it out.
Yes.
Your child needs to eat too.
So they asking, you can go. They go online.
Some of them got so much pride. Don't buy up $200 shoes, but.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
I ain't got, and then the book bag empty. Give me a break.
Yes. We got to prioritize our importance of going back to school. Why, like you said, buy $250 worth of Air Jordans, and here it is, the fees for the school system to get the proper classes and the proper books is not paid. We have to prioritize that, and don't get me wrong, we want our children to look nice and proficient, but we don't want to overemphasize who's wearing designer wear, and or I think I was talking to a young man. He said the pants cost $175, the shirt was $200, belt cost X amount of money, and the shoes. So in other words, he walking around with like a $700-800 package on his
But
on
he
his
have a
body.
calculator?
I don't understand. I truly don't understand. Right, I don't understand the pride in
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't mind them wearing this, whatever they want to wear, but make sure the book bag is full.
The essentials.
As long as they dress nice, make sure they have everything they need. So they won't be having to say, I'm broke, I don't have to get those the items they need to get the education. It's okay to look nice. I like that, but don't make that a precedent over the book.
No,
or even the things that they need to get through the class.
And parents, don't put the pressure on yourself. That's who we need to talk to. Let's talk to the parents first. Parents, it's not important that they go with the $175 pair of pants on to impress their peers. Let's get them in school to be educated. Let's learn. Let's get them graduated, and they can get jobs that they can afford $175 pants.
They're not gonna want to spend that money on it.
When it comes to that, no.
I'm telling you, I asked my son when he went to Auburn, I said, what kind of jeans you got on? He said, I don't know. I bought my dollar stuff. I was like, what?
See, that's why I was like, when they start realizing they have to buy it, or they can't get to mom and dad so quick because they working and they might be in class, they'll put on whatever. Because honestly and truly, I think it's only it's like only, because I think even from the time when we were in school to when my kids were in school, they stopped paying attention to name brand so much. Unless it was like shoes.
Yeah.
You know, everybody wanted the good shoes. But as far as like jeans and stuff, a lot of the name brand, that's why like sales as far as stuff like Levi's and stuff, you know, now not to say that they still didn't want like the name brand, like they would go to some of the African American designers, which was a good thing. But even after that, people just started really caring a lot about the clothing brand, unless it's the the ones into the sports jerseys and stuff like that. But it was mostly those shoes. As long as they had those shoes and those caps, and then when they realized they have to buy themselves sometimes, they'll get some pants out of Walmart. I seen one guy told me, he said he loved those cartoon shirts out of Walmart.
That's right.
No regular jeans.
They'd be like $5 to $7.
I laughed so hard at my son. I said, oh, so you was spending me and my husband money, but now you don't want to spend it. He said, but I look good. But see, I started out at Gapers, and then I went from Gapers to Parisians, and then I went from Parisians to McRae. So my kids were off the sale rack, but they were great. They were cheap. And we got a discount.
In that discount, I just
got those Parisian sales. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I love it. And then they were on sale, and we got our 25% off out.
Yeah, y'all so did, because I had a free one.
We got it from so when he was in Overbound up at the film on there. My baby had his shirts, and then his friend had shirts too, because they wore them up there at Overbound. I was like, okay. But they were cheap. I said, baby, your mama ain't broke. She got good shit, but you look nice.
There you go.
Sometimes you have to hit the sale racks, even though they have nice things.
That Parisians and that McRae's clearance rack, it ain't been a rack like them since. And even Gapers, they Gapers.
Man, I used to love that Gapers, baby. I worked there, and I was like, whoop.
You was a suit that was $90 or $100, get about $20.
Yeah, my kids were Gapers babies, and they were Parisian teenagers, and McRae's on through college, so whoop.
There you go.
And I was like, thank you, Jesus.
There you go.
The clothes wasn't an option, but the basic thing the parents need to do now is make sure they have the essentials they need to get through those classes.
Yes.
Don't put so much emphasis on what they got on. Make sure that book bag is full. I just went and bought a bunch of book bags to donate, but we had youth funding, so I just took me like 29. I think I ordered them off of Amazon. Because I usually hang out with the Ebony and Gents that make Donna Hughes when we donate the bags, the book bags and stuff.
Right.
And I had ordered an extra set, and I took them to church for the youth on that youth fund. And I'm like, popped on my trunk after church. I'm like, okay, y'all, book bags, come get them. And I said, let me know if y'all need the best tablets, because it was on sale.
Right.
So I just grabbed them then. If we can help out some of them parents, that's good too.
We just talked about that last week. If you, whatever it is, if it's the schools take cleaning supplies, I know sometimes they want to use their own because of this, certain reasons, like regulatory reasons, I understand, but if it's Lysol, so sometimes I can understand they say request a certain type. If it's Lysol, something microbalance, take it. If they take it, give it to them.
That's right. Yeah, they might let you bring it.
That's a good question.
You can donate.
Are they allowing the kids to bring aerosol cans of Lysol?
Well, I would think parents maybe.
Yeah, the parents. You have to go through the office and go through the proper channels, and they'll let you donate it to the right area.
Okay.
But the kids, no, you don't send those to them, but they be trying to snort it.
I bet they be spraying each other.
You have kids walk around high from aerosol cans.
Oh man, they be spraying each other. Boy, you stink. Get some of this Lysol.
Yes, they will. But anyway.
Kids be something else.
Yeah.
And I say that because that's what we used to do. I remember we used to do the crazy stuff.
Yeah, we used to do it. when the Central West, I used to have the contract with him, the choir dresses with Miss Jock. So I used to go down to him, the dresses like 8 inches from the floor, so they'd be all the same choir dresses. And then when Brian opened, I had to do the band. So what's his name? My guy, he went over to
Mr. Reed.
Brian.
Mr. Reed.
Ryan, Mr. Evelina?
Not him, the other guy. He's there now.
Reed.
Oh,
Reed. Yeah, Reed.
Okay,
Yeah, and
okay.
I used to go over there to him, the little pants, the band.
Yeah, because Mr. Reed was there first, wasn't he?
Yes,
Then
he
he
was.
went back.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. That's when he went. When I went over there when they first changed, and I was like, then I had to give it up because I got sick from the dyes and the fabric. I cried so hard I had to close my shop. I did because it formed like the granules from the. I had breathed it so many years, and then it formed the mass outside my lungs, which caused a sarcoidosis. So, but it's not in the lung, and I thank God for that. But it's still there. But you know, but I had to give it up, and then every time like prom season, and then when the rush week come, I'm like, oh man. I had flashback. I was like, oh man.
That's that money time.
But it was good while it lasted. Yes. But I love working with. When you go in that school, you see something everything.
Yes.
Yeah, parents. I'm like, ooh, and they be like, hey, Miss London. I'm like, hey, how you doing? So you know I'm from church. Hey, how you doing? I know you ain't cutting up up there.
That's right. That's right.
That woman, they said, they're going to tell my mama. I said, I'm not saying nothing. You better behave.
That's right. That's right. That's
You better act right. You never know who's going to pop up in the school doing stuff. Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to get off the line.
Hey, we appreciate you calling in, conversating with us about that, and giving us the update about the school's dress code. So they can
I'm
find
going to be
it.
looking for the county in a minute. I'm going to see if they're going to make some
But
change.
y'all, let me ask y'all this. What do y'all think, though, with everything in the red, all of the, like she said, they gave you the do's and the don'ts, which is good, because if they only give you the do's, the first thing they're going to say is you didn't say this.
Yeah.
But that was so much. Like, who's going to regulate that? That was a lot.
And they say
The
they're
rep
going to
teams,
enforce
not to this is, yeah, that's a lot. I'm like, they need to hire somebody just for that. Because that was a lot.
Yeah, let me see what they said. They were going to, see what they said about that. They were going to do the enforcement. I think it is our hope that this updated code is fair and easier to follow for the parents. Oh, okay. They said
That's a lot.
this code is broken down into 3 sections so that it is easily understood that what the students must wear, may wear, and may not wear.
Okay, well, breaking it into sections that will help.
Yeah, they're going to send that home. They're going to send that home with them, I guess, first day or whatever. Because they had it posted on the news already. It was on this morning. So that was just for city schools. I'm still waiting on the county, so I don't know. Like he said, good luck with that.
Good luck. I don't really know who's on. I don't even know who's on the board for the county school. So
I used to know, but since I had closed my shop, I didn't get to hang out with folks anymore in the schools and stuff like that anymore. I used to be up there all the time. I don't know who's in there now.
want to say send out a big shout out to Trey the barber too. He did.
Oh yeah.
Did,
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah.
He
They
did.
said that
Free,
line was wrapped around the corner.
he did free haircuts for
That was
kids.
good.
That was
good.
great.
He was so proud, too. He should have been.
Yeah.
I know that's right. That's how you give back to the community. That's exactly how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Kids don't be sharp with them haircuts. $100 shoes up. You hear me?
Okay.
All right.
He was so proud of that. I was like, he should be. That's so a lot of kids got their haircuts.
They did. It was nice. I saw that too. I was on my lunch hour, Googling it. No, they took me back to, I was primarily at Northport, but I've been there at Northport since 2013, but now they rearranged a lot, so they took me back to Tuscaloosa. So I'm at Northport one day a week, and that ain't going too well with them over there, but I'm at Northport one day a week, and I'm adjusted to being back at Tuscaloosa. Learning all that new stuff they got at the front.
Oh.
I'm old school. I know everything else, but I gotta add some new stuff to it. And I'm like, y'all,
You'll get it.
I'm 64.
You'll get it.
Yeah, it's coming together. But I was bad when I had to leave Norfolk. It's 5 minutes from the house. So now I gotta get up a little early. But anyway, y'all, y'all have a good night.
You too.
Okay, you too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, we thank Ms. Owens for providing us with that information on the do's and don'ts of the new school dress code, and we appreciate everyone that joined in on that conversation. Anything else? Anyone? Okay, let's see. David Emerson had a back to school bash and free haircut for first 100. Well, good. A lot of things we can't get out because I'll be honest. Lately, my schedule has been packed during the day, and I don't get a chance to go on Facebook as much. To see what's going on or things that happen. But if people know of things that's going on, please share it to my Facebook page. I have no problem. You don't have to get approval to get on my personal Facebook page, but approval for our community conversation has to be done. And I only get a chance to look on there until probably later on in the evening when we're doing the program, about to do the program. So we still have our community conversation program going on, and Mike still have all the other Sound Booth Radio programs going on in each and every week. I want to say my good friend Rodney Pelt has started back with kitchen conversations, and so it's more avenues, more resources of information to get out each and every week of what's going on. So we continue to do our Tuesdays and Thursdays as usual throughout the school year. If you got any announcements that you'd like to have, any promotions you need to put out, please just inbox me or send it to me, and we'll get it on. We'll share it with the people that we can share it with. Still, 400 and 500 views of our program is being noticed each and every week. So either people from across the United States or people right here in the community. They still chime in. They might not chime in at that very moment, but we still have a wide variety of people that checks in on our conversations each and every week right here on the TTown 411 report. So that's where we at. And once again, we want to thank Veronica. We want to thank you for giving us the insight about this upcoming virus that's in our neighboring states, the monkeypox cases, and we just want to make sure everyone is being forewarned. Once again, this is something that is highly contagious, and you've heard on there on television that it is transmitted through male and male contact. That is not necessarily true, but it is also highly contagious.
That's not exclusive, and
Right.
they were telling people not to try to don't single those people out.
Yes.
It's just that I guess the cases that they saw, statistically, they saw numbers where it was pretty prevalent in men who consider themselves gay and men who consider themselves bisexual.
Yes. So it is highly contagious. Right now, they're not even sure if you cannot just catch it through, like you said, bed sheets and touching surfaces, different things. They're not actually sure exactly of the transmittal.
Yeah, there's like 3 things that they're not completely sure of as far as how long. It says that they're not sure if it can be spread without symptoms. If a person may be in that incubation period where they haven't developed the symptoms yet, but they may be contagious, they're not sure if it can be spread while no symptoms. I guess in that first, if they make contact with it, and then within that time of making contact to showing the symptom, they're not sure if they can pass it during that time. So that's kind of, that's just be careful. Be careful, because they don't know if the person doesn't have symptoms. While they're studying it, that's one of the 3 things that scientists are not quite aware of yet, and how often is it spread through respiratory secretions, and how likely it is spread through respiratory secretions, and whether it can be, like I said, in bodily fluids. So those three things, scientists are still researching. So it's kind of, it's really scary because it's like they just discovered it in 1958. There's been at least two other times where it was seen in the United States, and then now it's just kind of, an outbreak. So it's just, I don't know, it's just a lot of unanswered questions, even for scientists. It's just like with things, they're new or they're rare, there's still a lot of unanswered questions about them.
And this just photo I have is just another sign of scabs, I guess, as you're being in the healing process. And this is some of the photos from the healing.
And they say that still don't have contact with the secretions or with the scabs. Wait until they have fallen off and there's new layer of skin.
Once again, we want to thank everyone that tuned in today, this evening. Once again, we're just wanting to prepare our community, our own personal community for the possibilities, the possibility of the outbreak of monkeypox here in our own community. And once you see it, now you can kind of relate to what it looks like. A lot of time people sit there, you think they just blow it all out of proportion, like you were saying earlier. But we want people to know the facts of through research, and these are some of the signs of what it looks like or have looked like on people. Different people respond differently with this particular monkeypox. Linda Owens said, keep sanitizing, wash your hands, wear your mask, and wipe down surfaces. So those are some of the same things we've said earlier, and we want to make sure people, like I said, just kind of be prepared. And once again, those symptoms are I think I went over them earlier: chills, headaches. What else there was?
Fever, rash, muscle aches. Was it fever, rash, muscle aches?
Joint pain, exhaustion.
So lymph nodes, and that's one thing that makes it different from chickenpox too. Usually they don't have inflamed lymph nodes with chickenpox, and if so, it may be like mildly inflamed. So like I say, we always have to account for people being different, but that is one of the bigger differences. With monkeypox, usually they're inflamed lymph nodes.
Okay.
And that's just a sign that the body is fighting an infection.
Well, that's good. So, as we said earlier, there's no cameline lotion you can go get or anything. I did see something said, take Tylenol might help for us.
Yeah, I think oat baths. I think the oat baths would help with most anything because it's natural. I think oat baths would help if they're having symptoms from the rash or blisters.
One thing we didn't talk about: how deadly. Do we know of any cases of people dying from monkeypox?
Not that I'm aware of. I think people tend to get over it. I haven't seen many cases of what that rate is. Yeah, so I think that people tend to get over it.
Okay.
But they do say, they said, with those with weakened immune systems, if you can get the vaccine. But I don't think I'm not hearing much that's saying that it is.
Okay. Well,
in fact, I'm looking at Healthline, and it says monkeypox is a serious health issue, but it's typically not deadly. Still, experts say knowledge, caution, and vaccination, when applicable, are important.
And if you need more,
Well, one doctor says it's not as deadly as the coronavirus. He said it's not likely to cause deaths as seen with CB.
okay. Once again, if you need more information, do your own research, or you can call your local health department, and they can give you more information relating to this monkeypox outbreak that we're having, or is going throughout our country. So you don't have to just take our word for it. We just want to make people more aware of it. Certainly, and I use the word certainly so often now, that if it's in Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, and Mississippi, and few cases in Alabama, we certainly gonna have more cases in Tuscaloosa eventually. So let's just be prepared, know what to do, what not to do, and we hope everyone just stays safe. We just continue with our necessary sanitizing and hand washing, masks, wipe downs, all of that. We just keep going with that, and pray that no one catches it. But we do know it is somewhat curable, I guess you can say.
And people, please don't stereotype people. And please, whether they be gay, straight, or whatever, because they don't, it's not something that only happens to a certain group. But not even so much as about the group. People tend to stereotype people, or this. Don't gossip, because it's just people. Nobody wishes to deal with something like that.
Right.
So, and a lot of times when it's about chatter and gossip, people will be reluctant to go and seek assistance. So, just be aware that it's nothing to make anyone feel ashamed about. It's, encourage people to be safe, and encourage them to be checked if they feel sick. Because it is a virus, so some of the symptoms, like, they're kind of like most other viruses, like I said, with the fatigue, maybe exhaustion, and the rash. Just encourage people to get checked out. Don't by stereotyping, that kind of discourages people from even going to the doctor. Somebody may be afraid of who they may see at the doctor's office that works there that they know, or things like that. And just like you said, Darren, be aware that it's pretty much as of today, North Dakota has 2. Hawaii only had 1 case, and I think they're up to 11. Montana has 1. Maine has 2. There are a few states that has like 2 to 6 cases, but as far as around us, Georgia and Florida, they're up there. Mississippi has 8, only 8, and Alabama has 22.
Okay.
Tennessee has 55. So as far as like right around us, that's what those numbers look like as of today.
Wow. Lenore says it's an everybody virus. Don't stereotype people. So that's absolutely correct. It's not just one particular group of people or personnel that's being infected by this particular virus. Well, Veronica, we've shared as much as we could share relating to back to school and about monkeypox. The children do have to go to school on Wednesday, which is tomorrow, August the 10th. And we just want to make sure everyone and all the parents make sure they set the clock. I know a bunch of parents can't wait to get them out that kitchen. Can't get them out that kitchen. Get out of that kitchen and get on to that school. Kind of help on the grocery bill a little bit anyway. But yeah.
But buddy, when they get out,
yeah,
they gonna raid. They used to hit that kitchen. I remember my brother, all of us, we used to hit the kitchen.
Time you get out of school. I think they hit the kitchen more now than they did back then, because when we were going through school, you pretty much you could have fried chicken fingers and hamburgers and pizza on the line. Right now they got wheat stuff.
Look, we would take cookies home. You get your little pack of cookies, that extra pack you bought. Somebody else packed, they ain't want that. Sometimes we go home with.
Right.
With some food.
It's Kai Porter said tomorrow will be a very, very busy day with everything that's going on. Back to school. Wow, I went over to Midtown and whoa, it was packed. I already don't like parking in Midtown or even going that
I
direction.
cannot stand that over there. I don't know who developed those parking spaces. I mean, who came up with that, but it's just so tight. It's so tight.
They tight. And you
And
got
everybody, you notice that, especially in places like that, people just back out without looking.
mm-hmm.
You can tell that they didn't look. People just, I'm like, okay, I look at parking lots as if I'm looking at the street. There are certain ways that you have the right of way.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just back out into you backing into lanes. People just get in their car, just back out, just start pulling out. They don't look.
Yeah.
And over there, it's so tight. It's hard to know when people do it because it's so tight. Next thing you know, somebody's pulling out.
Wrong, it's tight. And then try driving that big F-150 or SUV. Woof. You just about need to park close to the McFarland Boulevard and just walk where you're going.
That's what I was just about to say. You might as well park close to the part that faces McFarland Boulevard, or park over there. The bowling alley got parked better than that. You might as well park facing the boulevard or park in the mall across the street.
Mm-hmm.
But who wants to do that? But you definitely right. And even then, if you're in a big vehicle, like you said, you might end up taking up 2 spaces. Or it may be so tight that you really almost have to take up a space. I don't know why they have those parking spaces so tight.
If you don't want nobody bumping your vehicle, you don't want to park in front of the store. None of those stores. You don't want to park in front of it. But anyway, it was jam-packed, so that was a good sign of people spending money. Of course, I was spending money. That's exactly what I was over there doing, spending money for these grandchildren, I tell you. We got to do it, though. I bet I can say, yep, my clock set to drop a granddaughter off on ready. Kai say, Linda says, yeah, parents get a chance to sleep all day. Nap time for some of the parents. Cut them lights back off, nothing, peace and quiet. Nothing but peace and quiet. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Once again, we want to thank everyone that chimed in tonight. And once again, Mike is out tonight. He just had a little slight setback. Everything is fine. He's not in no pain or anything. He said he just needed a night off, and I can understand that. I can understand that. There's nothing wrong.
We're praying for him.
Yeah.
And hopefully he gets the rest he needs and he bounces back and everything will be okay.
Yeah, he'll be okay. He texted me and said, yeah, everything is okay. Just need to take a little quick break to get situated.
Yeah, there are sometimes I have a friend that he's really into sports and stuff, but every January he fasts from social media. And that's I honestly think that's a good idea. And while we talk about that, parents, check your kids. The bullying on social media. School is starting back. I know a lot of them are excited to go to school. Mm-hmm. And then if you start to see that excitement turn to despair or hating going to school, it's not just school anymore. It's school, and then it's school outside of school almost, because it's social media. So everybody they have contact with is on these different apps.
Yeah.
Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, all this different stuff. Discord, all this different stuff that people are on. So if your kids, and even if your kids seem like they just really aren't excited, because most kids on that first week, almost everybody's excited, unless it's just a child who just hates school.
Right.
And even then, check and see why. Because they made maybe some leftover stuff from 3 months ago, and they don't want to go back to school. So, just check, because I think everybody needs a break, sometimes time, to just some self-time, be it from social media, from certain friends, or, not to say anything about the friend. Sometimes people just need me time, and not just like a day or two. Sometimes it may be a week, or sometimes it may be a day or two.
That's right.
But I noticed that, and when he said that, I was like surprised because he is a sports fanatic. And January is the college football playoffs, is super leading up to the Super Bowl, it's NFL playoffs and stuff, and he's into all that. And it's like January, he says nope, he fasts from social media.
Sounds like a good idea.
Hmm.
But me personally, I only use social media as an avenue of obtaining positive information or sharing
Right.
positive information. All the drama, the negative comments about XYZ, it
Hmm.
never catches my attention. But all the gossip or whatever it might be goes on. I just always try to utilize my page as a positive page to share information, gather information, and reach out to the
Hmm.
community and stuff. But Veronica, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get ready to clock out and get ready to
Yeah.
have because I might have to deal with some of this traffic in the morning myself. I was used to getting to work, at leaving from down 69 around 7:30 or 7:35. I think I'm at to hit about 7:20 now
Yeah. Yeah.
since school about to
Well,
kick
is
off.
Shelton, has Shelton started back too? When is Shelton? I forgot about the colleges. I know UA hasn't.
Right.
But I don't know about Shelton.
I'm not sure if Shelton back this week or not, but I know this 69 North and South gonna be kind of busy with school
Yeah,
bus.
county. Oh yeah, because that's a big county area too.
Yes, yes, yes. And then they got a new complex they building. Well, a new neighborhood they're building right off 69 with like another 300 homes coming or something. So anyway,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Y'all take care. We'll talk on tomorrow or on Thursday. And hopefully everyone has a lovely and safe back to school drive or drop offs, everything. So we just gonna pray everybody have a good evening and we'll talk on Thursday, y'all.
Okay. All right. There. You have a good one. Be safe. Everybody be safe. And we'll talk to y'all Thursday.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Uh,
All right,
All
y'all.
right.
Good night.
Good night.